Why did the car explode? My name's John Uustal. I'm an attorney in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, who investigates collisions, especially after fuel-fed fires. I've had many cases against automobile manufacturers involving fuel-fed fires. Vehicles explode because there has been a failure or a rupture of the fuel system. Technically, vehicles catch fire. Gasoline fires propagate, they don't explode. But it's really a distinction without any meaning, because the amount of force, the amount of firepower involved in a fuel-fed fire is just stunning. From the very beginning, when engineers were building motor vehicles with gasoline engines, they knew that that fuel tank had to be protected because of the potential catastrophic outcome if it ruptured. And really the whole fuel system has to be protected. The fuel lines from the gasoline tank to the engine and the fuel filler pipes, all of those have to be hardened and protected, because if you have a rupture, if you have gasoline flowing, you've got the potential for a catastrophic fire. Post-collision fuel-fed fires happen. One reason is because of the rupture of the fuel system that allows gasoline to escape. It should not happen. Engineers at General Motors, as far back as the 1970s, came up with a way to put it that I think is very simple to understand. If the flesh and bone survive, the metal ought to. And what they meant by that was very simple. If the people survived the crash, the people made of flesh and bone, if they survived the crash, then certainly we can design a fuel system that will also survive the crash. If the forces are so severe that the flesh and bone people don't survive, well, then maybe the forces are severe enough that the metal fuel system won't also survive without rupture. But if the occupants survive, they should not also be exposed to the hazard of a fuel-fed fire. And yet they are, sometimes. We've looked at internal company documents at several automobile manufacturers, and there are very strong pressures on automobile engineers to cut the costs of the vehicle, even to the point of just decreasing the thickness of the fuel tank walls to shave a few cents off the cost of the vehicle. And there have been reports at different different automobile manufacturers, more than one, several, where they look at a problem and they say, it's going to cost $30 to fix, but it's only worth it for us to fix it if it costs less than $2.20 per vehicle, knowing that people are going to burn alive. Those decisions have been made at automobile manufacturers. It's been one of my goals in my life as a lawyer to change the math so that when automobile manufacturers or any big company sits down and tries to make a decision like that about a human life and what it's worth to fix a problem, that the math is very different, so that it's actually cheaper for them to fix the problem than to let people die. And thankfully, because of certain cases, post-collision fuel-fed fires are much rarer than they used to be. But they still exist, and they shouldn't. I hope I've answered your question. If you have any other questions, feel free to call me. This is what I do.